Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is lesson 456. The title of today's lesson is the difference between gorge and devour. Yeah, 'cause sometimes students will ask me this one. Okay, if anybody wants a screenshot, do it now. Okay, great. Let's get right into the lesson. If someone gorges oneself on something, or just gorges on something, he or she eats a large amount of it in a greedy way, especially by overeating or making a pig of oneself. So this is what we usually say, that somebody gorges on something. All right, if someone devours food, he or she eats something very fast, usually because one is very hungry. We often associate devour with animals because animals often eat in that way. If you ever had a dog and you give a dog a bowl of food and he puts it down and he's like, and it's just gone immediately. That's what we would say is devour. So we often think of it or connect it with animals. So even when we use it with people, we're kind of almost saying that the person ate it like an animal. Let's continue here, especially if two or more are feeding on the same food at the same time. Yeah, so if animals are eating the same food, they're almost in competition with each other, so that would be one reason they would even eat faster. All right, so here you can clearly see big difference. Gorge focuses on the quantity and how much you eat. And devour focuses on the speed, how fast you eat it. Devour would, of course, you do still have to have a significant amount for devour, because if you only ate a little grape, we wouldn't say that's devouring. But the focus is really on the speed. And gorge is probably more, you're stuffing yourself even more than at least devour has to be. All right, let's continue. All right. If we use devour with people, it tends to be more in a humorous way. That's a little bit like what I just said. So we're kind of joking, like, oh my God, you must really be hungry. Look at how fast you ate that. Wow. That's more like the way we use devour. You really devoured it. Okay. It is possible to both gorge and devour at the same time, but it is also possible to only do one of them. So, for example, if you ever think of those Nathan's hot dog eating contests, where they have to eat a lot of them, and it's also, of course, it's a competition, so they're eating fast. So in that particular case, they are actually doing both. They are gorging and they are devouring at the same time. Okay, let's continue. But, like I said, it is possible that you could just, like if you go to a buffet, you might gorge yourself, but you might spread it out over, 3 hours or something. Devour, again, you don't have to eat a tremendous amount to devour, but you just have to eat like a plate of something, but you have to eat it quickly. All right, let's continue. So let's give several examples to show just how we use this. All right, here's the first one. I gorge myself on the dessert bar at the buffet. And now I am starting to regret it because my stomach is uncomfortable. So especially when you go to buffets, sometimes your stomach might hurt because you're mixing a lot of food. We know that a lot of people tend to overeat at buffets anyway because everybody wants to get their money's worth. So they eat a lot, it's free. So that's what usually people end up doing. So a lot of people end up gorging themselves on a buffet. Okay, let's continue. She gorged on a whole gallon of ice cream and didn't save me any. All right, well, this is kind of like the greedy sort of aspect to gorge. Gorge has a little bit of that feeling too. All right, number 3 here. He was so hungry, he devoured a whole plate of dumplings in 5 minutes. Maybe a whole plate of dumplings isn't not necessarily gorging yourself, but you could still devour it. Maybe that's a normal amount for you to have like 15 dumplings or 20 dumplings, and you just ate them very quickly. So you devoured them. Okay, let's continue. He bought a whole duck and devoured it in 5 minutes. Yeah, I do remember this. One time when I was in a train in China, somebody bought a duck off the platform, and then he just like, he ate the whole thing very, very quickly. So he really devoured it. Okay, good. Or number 5 here, our 2 dogs are fed at the same time, and they each devour everything in their, in their individual bowls, because each one is afraid the other will try to steal his portion or steal the amount. Because if one takes too long, the other one finishes first, he may try to turn and take some of the food out of the other dog's bowl. So they both devour it very quickly because, they're each afraid the other one might try to steal it. Okay, anyway, I hope you got it. I hope it was clear. I hope you can clearly see now a better difference between when we are more likely to use gorge and when we're more likely to use devour. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.